Hi everyone. So when we last had news about Outward's Definitive Edition, I think it was in December, and we were expecting a dev diary to be released. We also knew that it was going to be released after Elden Ring, because the developers really knew that Elden Ring was going to be a great thing, and releasing news at the same time would really make any news about Outward fall into obscurity because of how big Elden Ring was going to be, and in fact it is a big thing. But now that this game is out, they released a dev diary, and I already watched it, and I've seen quite a lot of interesting things, and some things that are it really feels like some things I said in my first reviews of the game have been heard, probably because I'm not the only one who said things about it, and so I'm really glad this dev diary was released, and I'm pretty excited for the new things they are going to put into the game. And of course it's also, as they already said, the last thing we'll see about Outward. They're going to release the definitive edition. It's definitive. It's not going to be anything after that. They're going to move on to another game. But I think, from what I've seen already, it's already a great conclusion, I think. So we're going to watch it together, and I'm going to comment and say a few things about it that I've seen, and I'm glad they are putting it in.
What an adventure it has been. Nine Dots went further on this journey than we've ever dreamed. However, there has to be an end so there can be new beginnings. It is time to put a bow on it and call it done, so we can apply what we've learned on our next project and keep pushing ourselves. So, here's a plan to make sure Outward is left in the best of shape. It would not be enough to just port the game to Xbox Series and PlayStation 5, boost the graphics a bit, include the DLCs, and call it a day. We're including a myriad of quality of life changes, thanks to the very healthy feedback we received from the community.
So yeah, they talked about this. Like, in the actual game, it's like the recipes, you just have to scroll and scroll and scroll to find them. They've separated them in 3 different menus, and that's going to be so much clearer and easier to search for them. And as you can see, like, something I really find funny is that you still have to scroll, but you will be able to watch the recipes you have in the actual game. If you want to see how to craft a potion, you have to interact with an alchemy kit. Now in the definitive edition, you just have to watch it from the inventory, and I think that's a good thing, because when you were looking for ingredients and all, it was very annoying just to have to put down the alchemy kit and the cooking pot. So great improvement, like I say, quality of life changes.
Finicky enchanting, better crafting menus, access to your stash when in co-op, better distribution of materials for the new Sirocco are all examples of the many details we ironed out.
So we're going to talk about this later, but just about the stashes, in the news they already gave, there was something about linked stashes, but I've never played split screen co-op. I play on PC, but what I can see is that they seem to have different thing in different stashes. So are stashes player linked now? I don't know. It's split screen co-op, but does it mean that in online co-op stashes will be player linked? I don't know. It's just a question I'm asking.
The content of both the Soroborians and the Three Brothers expansions was mostly gated in their respective regions, which made our world feel less immersive at times. So we've disseminated DLC content such as corruption hazards or gauntlets throughout the regions to keep everything cohesive.
There is something. This clip is probably one of the most interesting things they've put out. That this place is in Chersonese, in the first region. It's just behind the Ghost Pass. It's where there is the shamanic trainer. And they've covered it in corruption. Like what they say, they put corruption used to be exclusively in the Ceroborian zone. Now it's going to be everywhere. Like I can see it. If it's there, there are other places. I can see where in any other places, like is the temple, like the Cabal of Wind, going to be covered in corruption too? So does that also mean that there's going to be, like you can see here, plants that's going to allow us to cure this thing. This one's for enchanting, and this also, like it's the Conflux Mountain. Like they have modified the map. The map is not going to be exactly the same. You could not access this lake, I think. They slightly modified the map, and this is a mana regenerating water. We can see that there when he interacts with it.
Hazards or gauntlets throughout the regions to keep everything.
Yeah, see, leyline water. It's the same as a big leyline lake, mana lake in the Soroborians. So there's going to be lots of areas that are not going to be the same, and like I can see navigating the corruption areas very early in the game is going to be far harder. It depends on how they put the recipes to react to these, how the new ingredients are on the map. I'm excited for this. Like we're going to be able to revisit the map. It's going to be very different. It's far. We knew that was going to be something like that, but it looks almost better than I expected. And also, this looks. I'm not sure what this is.
So we've
like. I need to try and read the message. I don't know what this is.
Content such as
I don't know.
Hazards or gauntlets throughout the regions to keep everything cohesive. We also overhauled some areas that showed promise but sometimes lacked in execution. The main ones are the Venthyr Fortress and the interconnected dungeons below the Antique Plateau, making their experience a bit more robust.
Alright, Venthyr Fortress is a buggy mess right now. Like you can get in prison and walk out just by talking to people. It depends on how you play it, but right now it's dumb. It's really interesting because Venthyr Fortress is something I generally run through like like a fucking. I destroy Venthyr Fortress at the beginning of every single one of my playthroughs, just because it's a good way to get money. And spoiler alert: if you don't do this, the village, the Cieso First City, might get burned down if you don't come back to it later. And so I think it's interesting that they decided to kind of, I think, revamp it. Maybe it's gonna get harder to get outside of the prison. Guards are gonna react more. And I'm really excited to do that. I might let myself caught a little bit more in this. And right after that, we talk about the train area, the interconnected dungeons. This, what he's saying, is definitely a map. It looks like a map. But I don't... Well, quality is so bad. Sorry, but it's supposed to 480. Oh. Can I put that? Yes. Sorry.
Those are all nice.
Oh, let me go back. That looks like a map. So they've added things, but we don't know much. Like it's very unclear. One thing I find interesting too, I don't know if this means everything, but this spell right now is something from very late into the game. And this one too. I don't know if this means something. It's something you get in the Three Brothers from buildings. From building the arena. So, and this one is from building I think something with the Enchanting Guild. But it's very late game spells. Does this mean we'll be able to get them earlier? I don't know. It would feel weird. But we'll see.
Those are all nice adjustments, but we wanted to make a revisit of Ori worthwhile, even for seasoned adventurers, and that requires new content. The first thing of note is that we've added unique encounters in most dungeons, so that every foray into the unknown comes with a unique twist.
At first, when I saw this, I thought they just had replaced. I like these enemies. The lightning enemies like that, the gold leech enemies, I think they're fantastic. They look incredible. But about this one, I thought in this dungeon, this is in Chersonese. This is the electric voltaic hatchery. And I thought, at first I thought they're going to replace every single mantis shrimp with this enemy. But now when I think about it, they're not going to do that. It's probably just like a boss like the first cannibal and the royal manticore. It's a unique enemy, as they said. I just didn't listen. And it's interesting to see a little behind that there's a light spirit, elemental, sorry, right there. And so they really put these all over the map just for enchanting. So this probably means we'll be able to access enchanting very, very early. I don't know, maybe buy an enchanting table from the first merchant in CSO. I don't know. Or the... Well, we'll see.
The unknown comes with a unique twist. We also felt that while the defeat scenarios are an interesting new concept to explore, we did not flesh it out with as much variety as we wanted. We got more unique situations you can get yourself into as a consequence for your mishaps.
I talked about this in my first review. I did a video, which is the most seen video of my channel, despite the low audio quality and all, but I did a video about a review of Outward at 700 hours. And I talked about this, the fact that death scenarios, some of them are incredible. And there was like very, very little scenarios that were really cool. Like there was one where you get captured in the first region. You lose all your stuff and it's in a chest. It was Vendaval, which has a few good death scenarios. There was scattered around a few good scenarios, but most of the time you'd get all the time saved by Gep. Like you wake up next to a fire with a potion. Or you just wake up in the city. And I always felt that this was a very underexploited mechanic. So if they made this better, I'm gonna die on purpose to see them. Like really, this is really something I wanted in the game because it felt unfinished in the original game. So that's a great thing because death scenarios are really one of the most interesting mechanics in our world, and I'm glad they're modifying this to make it feel better.
To top it all, we sprinkled a little bit of misery with new illnesses, increasing the variety of challenges outside of combat. We hope that this definitive...
Okay, about diseases, I don't know. We'll see, because in the Three Brothers, they already added a lot of very annoying status effects. We'll see with diseases, because I've never been really affected by diseases. Especially, like, it's something that bothered me in my very first runs. Like, I used to get a lot of infections and all. But when you start playing, I started really knowing the game, you never got bothered by them, because you just always had something to cure. So we'll see what this does. I hope, like, it's high of infestation there. I didn't see health going down, I think. So is this something you turn into a zombie if you don't cure it?
A little bit of misery with new illnesses, increasing the variety of challenges outside of combat.
Oh, health is not going down, so
we hope.
I don't know what this does. It would be fun if it was something that is hard to cure, lasts very long, and turns you into these walking beehives over a long period of time. It will be very fun.
That this definitive edition of Outward will keep you entertained for a while as we transition to our next game. Thank you for sticking with us all this time. Thank you not only for playing our game, but also for interacting with us and with each other. Thank you for taking care of the wiki, for moderating on various platforms, for talking with.
This is another. I said earlier, but this skill is something you get super late, and this one too. Does that mean you? And these are characters that are like this one. All his stuff he can get into the Chersonese and Enmerkar forest. Same for him. Like apart from the bag. So this is. I'm gonna say this is troubling, but yeah, I really don't know if they put these that used to be very late game skills and items this early. That's gonna be interesting about the balance of different playthroughs. I don't know.
Us and sharing your experiences. You deserve the best work we can do, and we can't wait to show you something even bigger and better.
Last thing I want to say, and like this is cool. Like Definitive Edition looks great. I'm not going to say anything about the graphical things because I'm not. I don't really see the difference if there is one, but I was expecting new armor sets, new weapons. Maybe we just did not see them. I hope it looks cool and great. Revisiting the map is going to be incredible, but I hope there's also more to get. And it's just a question, but I don't recognize the armor set of this guy. This looks like a variant of the half plate armor, but I'm not sure. I hope there's new weapons and armor, but I can't be sure about it. I hope you're as excited as I am for the Definitive Edition. I know some people are very disappointed because they expected more DLCs and more regions. But it seems that it's all going to get. Well, we're going to get. I still want my Tsar pickaxe, even if I really think it's the dead thing at this point. But we will probably never get it. But that's fine for me. Yeah, I know some people are going to be disappointed, but they really made it clear that they're moving on and going for another game. And I'm definitely excited for something new and to see what this studio can come up with. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.